Hey, y'all. You might be a child-centered family if you do the things I mentioned in this video. I'm Dr. Parker Ellison, a board-certified pediatrician with a long history of clinical practice and close observation of family dynamics, and I have seen quite a lot of change in the area of family dynamics over the course of my career. Here are my "you might be a child-centered family if" list. You might be a child-centered family if your family only eats foods that you know your children will eat. Don't want to upset or disappoint them. You might be a child-centered family if you frequently avoid running errands and grocery shopping with your children because your child gets bored. Don't want your child to have to struggle with boredom. You might be a child-centered family if bedtime takes forever because there's always one more snack, or a story, or a drink, or a bathroom break. You can't just say no because you don't want to upset them. You might be a child-centered family if your child is allowed to interrupt adult conversations. You don't want them to be frustrated and learn patience and respect. You might be a child-centered family if your daily life revolves around only your child's preferred activities, events, foods, etc. Adult interests are treated as unimportant. You don't want them to be disappointed because things don't center around them. You might be a child-centered family if you frequently skip church because your child gets bored and doesn't like it. Boredom and the consequent misbehavior is just too frustrating to you. You would rather just avoid the conflictual stuff altogether. You might be a child-centered family if you avoid significant behavioral consequences because your child will get upset or sulk or accuse you of being mean. You don't want to upset them. You might be a child-centered family if your marriage is placed on the back burner to give your kids all the attention that they need. You want them to feel like they are the priority rather than your marriage. You might be a child-centered family if your family calendar is completely dominated by children's sports and lessons and parties, etc. And there is little concern for downtime or family meals or church. You don't want your child to feel shortchanged when it comes to events and stuff. And lastly, you might be a child-centered family if you include your children in much of the decision making of the family. Where you're going to eat, what you're going to do, where you're going, etc. Because keeping your child happy is your biggest priority. All of these and many, many more are signs that you are a child-centered family rather than the much healthier dynamic of a parent-centered family. The parent-centered family is a much healthier dynamic both for you and your children and for your children's long-term good. There are other resources in my link in my bio, so feel free to take a look and continue to like and follow and subscribe and do all those things that you do.